Hello, welcome back, Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Noranda Brown here, your host. And tonight we have a very, very special guest with us. We'll be dissecting some current beliefs that are circulating, and that even some fans of football, some passionate fans of football, hold dearly. We have Pastor Stephen Blake. But before we get to him, let me say thank you to my sponsors, Quicklink Shipping, RS Sports Store, and CSA Shop. And if you're new to Halftime TV, please remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We try to keep it as objective as possible, but what I can assure you is we are always honest and we're always raw and factual. Okay, so again, as I said, we'll be discussing with Pastor Stephen Blake this evening, sports as a religion, sports maybe even as a substitute for religion, and the direction that it has been heading to in recent years. Now, the agents of socialization, church has been one of the biggest agents of socialization, especially in Jamaica. But in recent times, sports seemingly has crept in and has taken the place of the church. Now, we'll go into that and more later on in the show. But before we even get to that, let me bring on the man himself, Pastor Stephen Blake. You may know him as the Dancehall Pastor. Some know him as the Cornwall College alumni. Some know him as a goalkeeper. But we know him as Pastor Stephen Blake, always coming with motivational words on Sundays. You can find him on Sleek. You'll see him on social media as well. Pastor Stephen Blake. Good night. How are you doing, Pastor?
What's up, family?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing excellent, man. Good for me on the program tonight, you know?
All right.
I'm looking forward to the discussion.
The pleasure is mine. The pleasure is mine. Now, you're a former Cornwall College alumni,
Yes,
and a fan of Cornwall College as well. Tell us a bit about your time at Cornwall College. Was it ever about sport? Because I know I went to Rossies, so Cornwall College is a big rival of Rossies. So
yes, definitely.
Once you step through the gates of Rossies, it's always football. Tell us about your time at Cornwall College. What was school like?
Cornwall College is about sports. You know, one of the main things that the reason why I went there was for sports, in terms of from I was born, I just love sports. Love every sport, but specifically football. And I remember when I was in grade 5, Cornwall was playing Clarendon in the final, and from that time I knew I wanted to go to Cornwall. We lost that final, but you know, so right away I had a rivalry for Clarendon in my heart, and you know,
You're trying to the true CC.
Yes, well, no. I don't. That's CC with come on, yeah, you know, come and see. But we have to show them respect, because really and truly, sorry about that. Really and truly, you know, Clarendon is a big school.
Yeah.
You know, them big States is our next big school too. In recent time, you see them good in even tracks. Them good at cricket. There was a cricket school originally, States. We know States as a cricket school, but you know, they've gotten really well in football, and Cornwall was really about sports, but mainly football. And so from the start of Cornwall, they develop a even stronger passion. I'm fortunate to be a part of the school when we were at our dominant stages in football, and then it took about 15 years before win again.
Yeah, it took some time.
Took some time, but Cornwall was always about football. And you either everybody can play football, but you have to be top of the line to make that team. And I was a goalkeeper. I'm fair shot according to sports. I'm 5'4".
Yeah, so you're extremely short for a goalkeeper.
Yes, especially
difficult for you to touch it.
To be honest, I had to turn my fears into something of more positive, because when I was playing football, I was afraid that every time I kick the ball or touch the ball, they would tackle me. So I just decided to start going in goal where I can see everybody who want to tackle me, and I actually got good at it, you know.
Yeah.
In order to defeat the players them by not letting them see my height, have to use my mouth and talk loud, intimidate them. read the game, shout at me defender them. See him there. Don't make him kick the shot. Oh, he's to the right, but them like it's always cut some. My defenders them love me because I keep them sharp. So anything them miss, I pick up. You know.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yes. So I never want nobody kick the shot off of me from far because I'm short. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I develop a reading for the game from that. Passion for the game, passion for being at live sports. Carnival is always about sports, and you know, fun is all boy school, we're competitive. You know, we love being up against rival them. So, you know, it was always great to be in an atmosphere like that.
All right. Fully understood. As I said, I went to Rossi's, so I know what it was like throughout school days and what football means to both schools. Welcome if you're just joining us. Remember, as soon as you hop on the live, hit the like button. The more likes the video has, the farther the reach. All right. Now, as a former goalkeeper, as you said before, have you ever taken a step back and thought about what could have been? Because a lot of athletes, they make decisions earlier on in their lives. You decided to become a pastor, obviously, but what could have been had you taken the other route?
Well, to be fair and to be honest, I was a cricketer too. And IPL never come out yet. Right? It never come out yet. Them time the West Indies are lose. So demotivating them time there, right? And had IPL been out there where you know so the hype and the energy and the excitement, I would have probably try to make it and make a living out of it. Football now, I believe if I was as brave as I am now to be a pastor and how I approach being a pastor, I would have probably continued on a journey because one, I always was conscious of my height. You know, I always was conscious of my height. And two, I always wondered if I was good enough. You know, and it just that apply right through life in everything. You know, I always wonder if I'm good enough. And if I did probably listen to the advice and the counsel from, I don't think I'd have made a big career out of it. I mean, I've gotten called to Premier League teams. I started training and working when I was at UTech, right? So I was good enough, but you know, I don't know if I did have that internal confidence like I have now. That came over time, that developed over time, you know. But no regrets really, you know. But I'm a good coach though. I can identify talent and coach, and because as a matter of fact, I went. It's really enough for the carnal man them vexing me for this, you know. But there was this youth I seen playing. I went to start church in Mandeville and I see this youth play basketball. Him have a passion for it. And every time them fling the ball at him just catch the ball, suck it down, fumble. I mean, I say, but in a D Cup right now, the best keeper, them you see a fumble ball all in the final. I mean, I say, youth, you play the wrong sport. You understand me? Yeah, you might be tall, but as a Jamaican, I try to make it, you know, from basketball here for America. I don't see it that good. Going at the football, I'm going to start training. And in a 3 months' time, the youth was on the national under-15 team as a goalkeeper. You understand? Me start film school at Monroe, and guess what? Them go under-16 final. And the very same thing they want me teach me use and beat my school at the final. You see 4 penalties. So I try to find different passions and different things to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Feel that void that I truly missed as a player.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And a lot of goalkeepers, Richard Trench on here, former youth goalkeeper as well. Welcome, Trench. Welcome everyone in the chat. Remember, hit the like button as soon as you hop on.
Bless up, family.
Going into the meat of the matter now. All right, faith only has strength until something more promising comes along. What's your view on that? Because it's a phrase that has been used to tackle the argument of religion among some players. So what do you make of this argument that faith only has strength until something more promising comes along? Whether it be you're extremely high in your faith to the level where nothing can deter you from what your faith is because you're locked in. And then suddenly you get an opportunity, and the faith now becomes second best when it comes to priority. So, well, what are your thoughts on that statement?
I mean, all right, the Bible says, I call upon you, young man, because you're strong. You know, when you're young and you don't really have no whole heap of care in the world, whole heap of bills, whole heap of responsibility, easier for you to can do God work and don't worry about certain things. But him say, yo, I want you to do as much as you can while you're young, because there's gonna come times when you get older, when you go have worries on your head and things that occupy you, you know, your mind more. Which means that what you're saying has some, the Bible talk about it, you know, but I feel like faith is a foundational thing that if it will be tested how strong it is, because there's levels to faith, there's levels to love, there's levels to everything. You understand me? So I would say that I would condemn a man that get an opportunity and him feel like, you know, him have to take it, because at the end of the day, it is where his faith is, you know. But so what you say has merit. You have some people who have stronger faith, and you have some people who faith is not as strong as others. You know, we should just try to be there and support each other as much as we can.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I think though, because even for me, I grew up in church, but church is oftentimes on a Sunday, because I go to church on a Sunday. But there's always this clash between Premier League, which is played predominantly on a Sunday, and
especially
church,
the English Premier League.
Exactly, and church, which is on a Sunday. Now, how do you tip that scale? Because church now, for a lot of the youngsters, it is far less interesting than the English Premier League. So how do we tip that scale to ensure that, okay, a balance is struck? And you are a Chelsea fan, so you support the English Premier League as well.
Yes.
Is there ever a point where you're in church and you're thinking about the game?
All the time, every single game.
But does that not then mean that you're not fully invested in what's happening in the church?
I don't think we can ever be fully invested in what is happening in the church fully, because we are both made of spirit and flesh, you know what I'm saying? And if you look upon it, every World Cup final is on a Sunday. Every final Premier League day is on a Sunday. Usually the league is not won yet, or we in a Champions League spot like last league where, you know, it go down to the wire, whoever. So sometimes, I mean, to be honest, most of the time I mind upon the game. Sometimes, you know, I hide and peek and like that. I remember the last time we won the league on a Sunday, which was probably 2010. Because before that we did win the league. After that we did win the league West Brom twice. No, Jose did win the league early out, which was a Sunday against Crystal Palace. And also when Conte won, he won against West Brom in the week. I'm on the live. Okay, baby? Suka. So I'm a little daughter.
Good night, little daughter. Good night, ma'am.
Yes, so we call them now. I can't even remember the game, because them time I was an England fan till I realized, yo, England is a cloud without rain. It don't make sense to cheer for them no matter how far you go. You cheer for England, you go disappointed all if at the 90th minute them a lead back. Right? But I do believe them will come back strong this World Cup. I think are the best opportunity coming up. The team might get stronger around them, but are the best opportunity. But your mind go up on the game for sure. You know, and I would say it's not that we're not invested, but I would more to choose say, boy, Father God, this is me come to church, come make a sacrifice, you know, man. You understand me? It depends on my mind, but me I still make a living sacrifice when I come to church. So yeah, your mind upon the game, but me try to say, Father God, me still make a sacrifice and me still make an effort to take in peace of the words of God, you know? That's true.
But funny you should say you're making a sacrifice, because remember, even for the Christians, you're out there in the world the entire week, right? You're out there, you're carrying on with your entire life with the normal things that you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and those 3 or 4 hours that you are supposed to allot to worship or to spending time or to getting closer with God is oftentimes deviated by what's happening elsewhere again, what is off the world, right? So again, you see where I'm getting at with this reasoning, and it's pulling so many people from the church, and not only from the church, but from religion in general, because football and sports in general has, as some of the philosophers said, has become a religion in and of itself. So what's your opinion on that statement that sports has become a religion?
Yeah, man, sports has become a religion. And also I feel like a lot of the things them do, you know, intentionally to keep youths away from thinking about God and religion, you know what I'm saying? It's like I feel like it targeted in many ways, you know, whether Saturday and Sunday. But really and truly, if you think about it, Saturday and Sunday are the only time people have time for either enjoy themselves or go to church, right? And the Bible tells us you can't serve God and money, you know. And at the end of the day, it's all about your personal relationship and with God and how you operate. So like God knows I love sports, and me try to even use sports in my outreach, you know. Sometimes I go play ball with the youth them and say if you no beat the church come at the dance, and if the church beat you enough to come at church the next day, come watch come give out the prizes and thing. So it's really and truly each individual have to find that balance in themselves. You know, them can't. Cause if you go solely off of what mommy or daddy say or history say, you know, there tends to be a rebellion at the end of the day because you feel like you were forced, right? So I feel like you have to have a balance, and also you have to choose to make that sacrifice. So you have to, everything to me is a choice. You understand me? I feel like at some point, yeah, there are gonna be times when you go miss out on certain things, right? But I feel like each of us have to make that personal choice to ourselves. And that is why it's very important for parents to grow up them child in a one way what them think is the right way. And then when them old, them we say, you know, we'll make that one sacrifice because at the end of the day, like, all right, the first Champions League final where we did go. No, second Champions League final where we go. God when tell me don't watch it, you know. Don't watch it. That's the one against Bayern Munich.
Okay.
Right? And me now telling like I still try hide and watch it, but the anxiety will take me the first 8 seconds when I see Arhen robbing and run down the flank. I say, me can't manage this. Me faint or drop down. So you know what, God know best. But me listen it on the radio.
Yeah.
Right? Me listen
They don't watch it, but they listen.
Don't watch it, but me listen it. Right? And thank God it end up go good for me. Same way the last one, me I try and watch it and can't watch it. Me have to listen it same way. You know what I'm saying?
You're faint of heart then.
Yeah, well, probably, you know, because when Carnola played Clarendon 2016 in the Super Cup semi-final, and we get a lucky goal. Like the keeper make a mistake and we're up 1-0 and I say, yes! And Clarendon just goes so doop, whoop, whoop, and just a lick the post, lick shot, goal, 2.5 time, and I go on like, I'm afraid I said to me, my ball not score yet, man. You know, have no faith in your pastor. Yes, boy, I apologize. I will end up come back and win the game still. But when it comes to sports, me easier for Fred to tell you the truth. Man, tell you the truth.
Okay.
So sometimes I like ask God the score from early or who if we're gonna win or if we're gonna lose. So me not really too disappointed.
Well, if you're getting the score spot on, you can text it to me so I can circle just bet. I'm just kidding.
Enough people asking that to know. I'm not telling them.
All right, but backtracking a little bit on what you said just now. You said the Bible said it specifically. You can't serve money and God. You can't serve both.
Yeah, serve two of them one time. You have to choose. You run down that or you run down God.
So you can't play hypocrite. But earlier you also said you can't judge a man or say anything about someone who decides to go in the path of sports. Exactly. So you being a prophet then, or someone who's doing God's work here on earth, and you say, because both statements in my opinion, it's it's somewhat contradictory.
It is.
Because you are saying you don't have a problem with someone who decides to take on that venture, while at the same time the Bible says one thing on the other hand. So which is it? Is it a case where you are on the side of the Bible where the Bible says you can't serve God and money? So if you're in the church and you step out and you decide, okay, I'm going to follow football, then you're backslidden and you've drifted away from God, and you definitely need to be saved? Or is it a case where you can see that, okay, this person is struggling and their family is suffering, they're probably coming from the ghetto or the slums, circumstances not the best, coming to church every Sunday, that faith, remember that faith that we spoke about earlier. But no, you've been given an opportunity, and as such, that opportunity is going to provide something better, which the argument on the premise that we started with says faith is only worthwhile until something better comes along.
Me like the question when you ask me. I'm glad you asked, because the Bible also says that the letter kills what the spirit give life, right? So, and these are one of the reasons why so much people are so aggressive against the church, and these is one of the reasons why Jesus was against the Pharisees, because them overcompensate on the law rather than the love of the person and what the person actually going through, and how this can benefit and make the person happy and them family happy or better, right? So in that situation, God knows the person's heart, so you can't judge and say. Can look on David Louis. You have quite a few Christians in our league. David Louis, Allison, William, most of the Brazil. Well, I'm not gonna say most, but a lot of the Brazilians, them, you can. Thiago Silva is the next one, right? Chelsea always look like them blessed to get the Kaka. You understand me? And I'm sure that they have to make a lot of sacrifices. Then probably some of them may have to employ a priest, or Mr. William all the while online. I go church online and them things.
Yeah, I think Firmino got baptized last year.
Firmino,
welcome Steph Curry, Liverpool fan there. Soon as he
big up Liverpool fan, right? But I believe like the letter kill, the spirit give life, and God give each of us a talent and a gifting, and Him say everything must do to the glory of God. Now, if you do something and doubt, for you that is sin. Now, we are gonna know genuinely if it's a doubt. That's why you have to understand and see the situation, and that is why I feel like God is bigger than God create the law, but Him also know that love can. When I say love fulfill the law, or love like it. I don't remember the clause, but the letter kill, the spirit give life. So each person at the end of the day is what is right in them heart and what them get permission from God to do. That's why I'm not judge none tall a circumstance, because the Bible says don't judge, because if you were in the situation, you would have probably done the same exact thing, right? So that is my perspective, that for you, if you do something and you doubt, that means you sin because you doubt while you do it. But if you not no doubt and you know the right thing in your heart to do, and press on and make God bless you and your family. Remember, poverty is a curse, Yeah. And understand it's a curse. It's not God's will for any of us to perish or to be poor. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I did a bit of research on the topic, and according to a scholarly article published on iresearch.net, sports and religion haven't always had a congenial relationship, primarily because sports oftentimes lure believers from godly responsibilities. And again, so and
it's true, because many people who are Seventh-day Adventists who were great at sports record their mother and father ban them from play because champs are Saturday and D Cup and Manning Cup are Saturday. Them can play in the week, but Saturday the most important game them. And a lot of people grow bitter because even right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in life you have to have balance. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a man, right? A lady can depend upon her emotion and her spiritual, leadership more time. But a man more time, as a man, we want to, even Jesus when you want to have his own way sometimes. It's just that he humble himself. But as a man, if we have a gift, if we have a talent, we are going to want to show it. We are going to want to feel that ego. We want to feel the crowd on our side. We are going to want to show our side, and I feel like every gift and talent is from God. Everything that is good is from God. So why not, you know, find a way to maximize? Remember the man in the Bible did have 5 talents, you know. Some of we have 1, some of we have 2, some of we have get 5, right? But the man with the 1 talent, suppose that the 1 talent you have, you bury it, right? And then, you know, disappoint when you could have done something great with it, you know what I'm saying? So
but again, practice that talent at what expense? Because if the only day you're able to practice your talent or to utilize your talent is on the day of worship, then how do you prioritize what?
well, I feel like each man have it, and this I've been preached this Sunday, you know. I preached this Sunday where I believe in a rest. God did rest, you know what I'm saying? And there's even a denomination, the Seventh-day Adventists, that believe that the Sabbath. But remember Jesus when he said, you know, the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath, you know, right? So look at Dwayne Wade, for example. Dwayne Wade, him build him mother church, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gifting and him talent do that, you know what I'm saying? So and you never know, maybe the man come bust. We see it all the while in a lot of American movies. A theme tides help build the church, a theme tides help set up the church nicely, give back to the poor and the needy. So there's so much, we can't put a limit on just the place of worship, because at the end of the day, the building is not the place of worship. The place of worship really should be in our heart towards God. You know what I'm saying? And so if a man have him sports and a man have do it towards God, show God, say, yo, me I give thanks and me I go hard and me I train hard and me I give back to you. You know what I'm saying? Pele and the whole of them, their mother never want him playing a ball. The mother, they just want him go school, go to church and everything. But look at what come out of it. You know what I'm saying?
And again, if you're just joining us, we're discussing sports and religion. And again, a lot of argument about sports as a religion. We'll dissect that a little bit more, because I don't think you've fully given an explanation of why you think sport is being regarded as a religion. But we'll go into that a little
me
bit.
talking.
Yeah.
Oh, so, all right. So let me tell you why I would say sport is a religion.
And is it blasphemous though? Because the Holy Book also said, "Thou shalt have no other God," right? And we see people now worship it. Like sports brings you into a transcendent stage where you're out of this world. The emotions, the agony, everything that religion offers, sports offers it as well, right? The solace. If you're in discomfort and you go watch and your team is playing and your team wins, you're happy. You forget about everything that's outside. You're zoned in. And at times we even become more invested in sports than anything else. Also, hold on, let me finish your point. Also, the church in traditional years, in previous years, was seen as that avenue where when things weren't going right in society, people turned to the church. Now, when things aren't going right, people turn to sports. So if there are two factions in communities, they try and organize a peace community league or something like that. They're using sports to bind them together. No. So again, is it that the significance of the church is slowly fading and the significance of sports is increasing?
I don't think that the church can diminish in terms of influence. There are some people in the church who can get buyout, and there are some people who can be corrupt and don't do them work. But I don't really feel like the influence of the church is just that the church can probably is a sleeping giant. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really want to wake it up. But all I would look on it is that the church just have to be smarter and wiser in you. Remember the Bible said the world is wiser in its ways than even the church. You know? So the church have to just be smarter, see the times and know how exactly they can use things to their advantage to further the kingdom of God. Right? It's just that people motive of a right at the end of the day, which God alone can know their motive. Yes, sports can be seen as a religion, because enough time when I'm down, I just go watch some Usain Bolt race. like and build up about myself like is the original time when him versus Gatlin and Gatlin a run off him mouth and you know and Bolt come back and it just make me feel good. But I wouldn't religious scholars would have said that is idolatry. But I feel like in life you have to have balance and there's a time and place for everything. And once you don't put anything above God, then I feel like it's okay to have that emotional build up. Right? It's kind of difficult because I hear, you know, a lot of times shout, you know, like people that say shout like at a football match in praising God. Yes, there's a time and place, but remember, you know, what God says that not the man who go out on the road and make the noise out, the man who go in his closet and have a reasoning with God is what him value the most, is what is most important to him, you know, relationship rather than you going into a church. You know, yes, the church is there where me and you and everybody who come into church have a common goal and do not forsake the assembling of the brethren, but that is just a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we make it big about the temple and the building, but really and truly, me personally, my advocacy is more about relationship and more this temple more than the
the body is the temple of God, eh?
Right.
The body is the temple of God.
That is why you will see me take the approach of, it's not necessarily that me a dance around the question, but that is the approach that I believe more the personal relationship with God is more important than the you know the gathering at the building, because me and you know said lots of hypocrites in the gathering at the building and lots of people are there, run out people who genuinely want to come in and change them life. You know what I'm saying? So I advocate for and I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of people will connect with the ministry that God gave me, because it more deal with personal things rather than like there's a time and place everything. When you're in a church building, we know exactly how to operate, but especially in these times and when you're on the internet and a man look upon you face to face and listen what you say, you have to connect with him on a different level rather than the emotion. Because church can end up be like a football match, you know. Church can end up be like a club setting, you know, right? Where if you're not careful, we see no fight happen. No, it's a club setting, is who are brethren, is, you know what I'm saying? So I always advocate for personal relationship and just as long as you not putting anything above God, it could have be a man or woman. When I tell them I have to start fast Chelsea, you know, because I love Chelsea too much. I love Chelsea too much. I sit down, I'm gonna read every gossip. I go up and you have one name Chelsea News now. That UK. And that usually have the latest news, the last 15 minutes of news. We're going on a Stamford Bridge and we get so consumed by it. All right. And it's a good thing Chelsea did start lose under Villa's boss. Right? And it's like me, I said, this getting from bad to come. I'm never happy when them fire Villa's boss. I mean, me did just feel like he was building something, but and the same end up happening to Frank Lampard. Right? But it's like when we start lose, we just feel like God when tell me say, hey, just start. I never, as a matter of fact, I never even used to watch other teams play. At Chelsea alone, I want to watch play. So when I go up on fasting at Chelsea, like me know watch them or whatever, not even probably the highlights. I start watch Man U, Liverpool. I start enjoy the game more rather than hate them like poison. You know what I'm saying? So you really sometimes it can be a religion and we don't even know. It can be idolatry and we don't even know. Cause you have some like me as a pastor now, I go see like I go up to one church the other day and I have a Chelsea jersey and a man say take off that man. So I say which team you cheer for him? The devil, right? So you know him at Manchester United, but through him know me a pastor, right? So yeah, it can be. Don't get me wrong. Really, it can be, because when you see the fighting and the man fling back laugh at each other and them thing there in a stadium, that you know say idolatry. That's true. It become ridiculous now, right? And we see it happening all over the world. Argentina, Brazil, especially Colombia and them places, them take them ball games serious. You know what I'm saying? And certain high school too. Because one time when we go play against Glenmuir, buckle start fling and all kind of something, mush it. People take up loss and want to fight and all them kind of thing. So you know in a certain place, it is a religion, it is a cult, right? Yeah. But you personally...
I was going to get to that, the cult aspect, because at what point does it become a cult? Because we know the media, they won't come out and say it, but these folks who who consume football and who watch football on a daily basis, like myself, because I won't take myself out of the equation, because I watch a lot of football and I listen a lot of football, and the Halftime TV faithful who are over here, they know that I watch roughly close to maybe 200 hours of football a week. All right, and this is across all the leagues, and I'm so consumed by my love of football that at times nothing else matters. Right, nothing else in this world matters but football. And again, how do youngsters or people like me, how do they draw that line, strike that balance? Because it becomes an issue when you're too invested in it. You know?
Of course,
it definitely becomes an issue. And
brother, when Chelsea used to lose, my father have to tell my wife, say, don't talk to him right now. No. Because she say, that before me did married. Uncle Paul, did Chelsea lose? Yes. Don't talk to him right now. Just leave him alone. And I remember in 2009, Chelsea play against Barcelona, and we lead the boy them 1-0. See, now we get about 6 penalty, and Iniesta lick 92nd minute, I believe, man, right? And our late 90 or late 88th minute. And my brethren, he is a Man U fan. He might watch the game over in the other room. And the man just calm, I think, after when Man U lose. And then we lose the final to Barcelona. I'm say, how you so calm, brother? Who you do that? And him just say, just over time, you know. I always wanted to be that calm when it comes to sports. Not so like what, and it boiled down to put in God first for me. Because I just start say, all right, Father God, what is it? And it's like he must say, fast Chelsea for a month, or fast the team for a month, like, and you have to replace it with something. Cause trust me, it's hard when they on the TV and the barber, and you want to look up and watch. I remember, I think about 2 or 3 years, me did do it at different sections. So me did do it 2012 for about a month, from January to about February, and me did do it. I remember when we did win the Europa League and it was going on in the barber shop, and I could watch it. I think we did that fast that day too as well, right? But you have to make a decision. Say, all right, man, make a sacrifice. Just like how you make a sacrifice and go to church, even though it depends on your mind, you train your mind. It's discipline.
But is it really a sacrifice though? Because when you make a sacrifice, you know, based on the definition of sacrifice, right? You give up something.
Yeah.
Right. So when you make a sacrifice, you give up something for the other, whatever you're making the sacrifice for. So if you decide to get married, you make a sacrifice. All the other ladies outside to stick with one person for the rest of your life. That the sacrifice is giving up the other ladies. So if you're in a relationship and you're still going outside to see 1 or 2 of those ladies, it's not really a sacrifice now, is it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would think a sacrifice, like, yeah, for sure, you're right about that. But you making a sacrifice does not mean you don't desire to have it, you know.
Yeah, but desiring it and partaking, because you said you make a sacrifice to go to church, right? You're at church, but it's not a case where, okay, your mind is on you're taking a peep on the game sometime as well. So again,
just take a check on the score. Yeah.
Still, yes.
It's not perfect, but we are trying. I think it's all about effort with God still, you know, until you reach a level of maturity when you expect the full level. So that's how you look on it. Like, you make an effort, you know what I'm saying? It's a faith move. Some people strong enough to don't peep. Some people, you know, take a little peep and say, God forgive me, and keep going, you know what I'm saying? But it is where you are mentally, and it's just like enough people ask me, like now I start go gym and start exercise, and I do it for about a month and a half, maybe 2 months now, right? And people say, boy, I would love your discipline. The truth is that I was mentally preparing for months before going into the gym. Mentally preparing to John, I have to go to the gym and then start do some little exercise for my own. So I was doing the pre-work before the actual work start. So if me probably didn't know fasting was something I do regular. So I know like some could have just get up and fast Chelsea for 1 month just so. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult at first, but I did some pre-work. I did take time, miss 2 things, and you know what I'm saying, don't check the score here, don't until me get the strength. So it's all about taking baby steps until you reach that level.
Okay, all right, fully understood. Fully understood. Taking those baby steps until we get to that level.
Yeah,
Remember, folks.
you go drop. You go
Yeah.
drop if you're not the baby step.
All right, folks, if you're just joining us, remember, hit the like button as soon as you hop on. It's really just ball talk tonight. We're doing it a little bit different. We're doing it a little bit different. We're picking Pastor Stephen Blake's mind, picking his brain, really, to hear his insight on some pressing issues. If you have any questions, write them down. At the end of the show, we'll take some of your questions as well, and then see if we can break it down as much as possible for you guys. All right. So again, thanks for being here, folks. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and we'll continue. So your religion can bring you closer to God. I think the thing with religion is it promises you something in the other life. So it promises you a seat at God's table then, quote unquote, right? But sports, it promises you financial gains or financial earnings in this life, in what's happening now. So one is happening now and one is in the other, right? So how do we expect then people to prioritize? Because there are some who they aren't sure about what's happening in the afterlife, but they're sure about the now. And as such, they try to get as much done now than in the afterlife, right? And I think that's where the struggle becomes real, where religion faces some struggles, because in religion, especially on earth here, it's all about struggling for God so you can reap benefits in the afterlife. Sports teaches if you work hard now, if you put in the effort in your craft, you will reap the benefits here on earth. All right. So what are your thoughts on that ideology?
I think you're spot on. First thing though, most people feel like I am a religious person. I would say I'm a religious person.
So you're a pastor, but you're not a religious.
Yeah, me have a family member. My first say a family member, because you don't know. I have a family member who is same as a atheist, and him always say to me, say, I am a religious person and I deal with religion. And I said, no, I don't deal with religion. I'm not a religious person. I mean, by the standards of what everybody say, yes, I'm religious, but I would see myself more as a spiritual person, right? And deal with things. Because the Bible tells you, you must worship him in spirit and in truth. You know what I'm saying? Not just with mouth alone or words or put on nice clothes and go to church and act religious. It must be from genuine situation. So, yes, I would love to go to heaven, because that is all I believe is the basics of Christianity, where you don't do things because you feel like you feel like if you do it and you're dead in your sin, you're going to hell. That is, and the Bible tells us that the fear of the Lord is the beginning, right? It's the beginning. So I feel like that is basic Christianity to get heavenly gain, right? But I feel as you grow and get more spiritual and get more deeper in the thing, you will find more joy and more happiness rather than just live your life off of whether you're right or whether you're wrong. It's like, for example, when we go in a dance, a basic Christian will tell me, say me wrong, because we're going to mix up with Eden. You know what I'm saying? A man on a deeper level now, at the spirituality, go say, boy, I'll show love to the man them inside of the place. And it's the same thing like with football or any other sports. Yeah, everybody want to win trophies at the end of the day, but then we feel like there comes to a point where there's a joy and a happy, like Steve Gerrard. I feel like it bigger than just win a trophy for Liverpool, why I'm never left and go Chelsea or Inter Milan or Real Madrid. There was a deep love and connection for Liverpool. So I feel like this the deep and the strong and the more you're into it is the more the more you find what you're really looking for and what you're searching for. Because I don't think there will ever be a player at Liverpool like Steven Gerrard, no matter how much trophy they win. Unless Harvey Elliott captain decide for now and go win 6 Premier League and 7 Champions League.
All right, you spoke about the deeper love and connection to Liverpool, right? Would you say then some folks get it twisted when they have that deep love and connection to the church rather than that deep love and connection to God?
Repeat the question.
You spoke about Steven Gerrard having that deeper love and connection to Liverpool, to Liverpool as a club, right? Some Christians, they have that same deep love and connection that you spoke about to the church rather than to God, right? And it's about being a Christian, and they have the love and connection to Christianity rather than to God himself. And as a result, they feel as if they're in a position to judge sports stars and athletes based on their holiness, then, quote unquote.
You're right, and that is pride. You understand me? And the Bible tells us pride goes before a fall. You know what I'm saying? And that is one of the reasons why I believe Jesus come to mash up the status quo. The people who believe say they are higher or more mighty than anybody else because of their affiliation or their love for the church or for Christianity. It really should be a love for God first, because the Bible tells us straight up, say, hey, 2 things where is most important. Love God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and your spirit and your body. The second thing is say love your neighbor as yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you can love your neighbor as yourself, then that means that you already fulfill the law. So that I think these are the people that cause problem in the church, cause problem for the people on the outside, because really and truly, it can't be a love for a building or a love for organization that go really make it. That's why you have so much people hide and do things, because no, the people who they think value them now see them. But if them have a higher value system where them feel like God, I see every movement, and them have a genuine love for God and people, them are gonna try them best to do the right thing at all times.
All right, you earlier in the show you said it's about your body being the temple of God and not church as a building, right?
Yeah.
Had you not been a pastor, say for instance you didn't have to preach on a Sunday, would you stay at home and watch football rather than going to church?
If I was not a pastor, I'd probably be a Don or a drugs lord.
No. I don't mean in that context. I mean still a Christian. Still a Christian, but based on the same reasoning that you just came off, where you said the body is a temple of God. You don't need the physical building as much as some may say. However, fellowship is important, as folks that I used to go to church with, they always emphasize fellowship and all of that, right? Now, consider, especially now with COVID and everything, folks act as if it is impossible for them to operate without church, the building. So had you not have the responsibility of going in to preach on a daily basis or each Sunday, would you stay at home, still being holy, still being reverent, still building that relationship with God, but just staying at home so you could watch your games instead, and then building your bond with God afterwards?
I would still go to church, because I did go to church all while before me turn. All them things I tell you about before me turn a pastor. I turn a pastor like within the last, from 2012 December, which means all of them games that I tell you about with church, I never was a pastor yet, but I did have that dedication and that respect and that. And know say boy at church time, so you go vex little sometime and say church, kiss all your teeth sometime and say I forgot church, but it is doing the right thing, not necessarily, but me not do it out because the church is there and the people. Me I do it because they know the right thing to do. So if when I was a pastor and I would have still got church, but church now keep now, so me just preach and turn on the game as a game as the game start on Sunday. Yeah.
So it's not one at the expense of the other then?
No. I don't preach long either, you know what I'm saying? And with online services, there's no praise and worship, there's no tithes, there's no offering, there's no welcome. I just say good morning, people of God. How you doing? and just get straight to it. And when I'm done, just flick on the game wherever it reach, whether half time or 15 minutes left. I just take it in, you know.
So could that be a result then? Because they say don't preach long, right? Could it be a result of that pull that we spoke about earlier? And how does the church get to that stage where they're pulling people towards them? Because no, you know, regardless of where I am in this world, regardless of what I'm doing, and I hope no one that I work with is in the comment section, but regardless of what I'm doing at work, I have to be partaking in the game, whether it be through my earphones, listening what's happening in the game. So because it's that pull, how does the church regain that pull? Because in the 98 campaign for the reggaeboyz, before the game began at the National Stadium, church was held in the National Stadium. We can't see that.
I never even know that.
Yeah, we can't see that happening now. We can't see that happening now because it has almost.
They should, if they need a chaplain. Remember, say Al Miller was a chaplain them time. Then I say if they need a chaplain, you have to go recommend me for that work. Because we love the football same way.
Yeah, definitely.
Same way, yes. But you're right. I mean, that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? The priority to me have to be the people and how to reach to the people. That's the only reason I end up in a dancehall. How me end up in a dancehall is that me know say alright, to reach where me I work in a community. There's no way me can sing hallelujah, hallelujah, I'm so glad to come on guys, welcome. Boy, them listen some Tamil and some cartel, so me have to say, alright, watch you know. Me start learn the culture and listen to the man them what them a preach or them DJ and whatever. Right? Because if really and truly when you go to dance, it's the same thing like a church, you know. The selector, the pastor, you know. Right? And he mouths some things and the music starts and the same thing happening in a church. The pastor says some things and the musician plays and the church starts. So I realize, all right, it's all about, to me, the love for the people and the leading of what God is saying. That's why I'm saying, if you love God first, right? And then everything else will come after. Because God will guide the pastor them and the ministers them and to what to do. Because we think make me go in a dance. And God make me go in a Boom Sundays one night and Uptown Mondays the other night. As a matter of fact, one time I did the dance and shot start, me have to jump over one wall. You know what I'm saying? And me know say God protect me still, but you don't know who in there at that time did need a prayer. You know what I'm saying? And you say during the World Cup time, church keeps suppose that 1 week the Shorty Malcolm or Peter Cargill or one of them will pass on, God rest them soul. Did not listen to the message and take it in and them, you know, them end up give them life to God. You can never tell, you know what I'm saying? I believe the church need to work with these people, work with these organizations, work with the ball of them, because everybody need God. You know what I'm saying? Even as platform like this to bring on talk about religion, and it's a magnificent platform to introduce these situations to.
All right. We mentioned just now about people needing God and about the different things that should have and could have happened. But I have a question that I want to pose to you. I was looking through the notes that I have here, and I realized that when it comes to religion, especially in Jamaica, it's primarily about an ulterior motive. So if someone who is religious or someone from the church, they come to you, they have a motive, and that is the primary difference between religion and sports, in my opinion, because sports doesn't have an ulterior motive. If you're going to watch sports, you get the satisfaction, you go home, and that's the end of the day. But if someone who is religious come to you, they ultimately want you to be converted to whatever faith they are. They want you to start coming to church every Sunday, that sort of thing. All right. Do you think that ulterior motive is what has called into question the genuine, how do I put this? The genuine nature of those who are trying to convey the message and the word of God?
Of course. I mean, I remember the media to love to bad news sell. So any little thing we go on media run with it, word of mouth run with it. So you just have to know that like one man might not can change the world, but they can change one little place at a time. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible tells us that when you hear the truth shall set you free. Like you go know as a person if them motive. Well, not all the time. You know, I got this, and everybody go discern. But sometimes when you meet somebody and you go know if their motive really pure. And like for me, it's not. I don't have a church, so there's no reason for me to want to get a motive for you to start following me or like I just believe in genuine love for people, respect for people. I like talk about football. I like reason in general. So if your energy is good and my energy is good, we are gonna be friends. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. We have a lot of people who learn off of what them read, and though they so them have a head knowledge of going into the church, of being a pastor, of studying, but them don't really have the heart feet. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, unfortunately, you know, a lot of people go in it for the wrong reasons, and even if you have some people who never really have a bad motive for going out, them get corrupted by the power, or them go possessed by the people too. You know what I'm saying? People love them off all of a sudden, nobody never business with them. I'm frightened for them. You know, people are stand up in a room and say, yes, sir, or whatever. So it's always good for people to be trained. That's why the Bible also tell us, say, yo, don't bother give too young of a person them work here, because pride will chip in, you know what I'm saying?
But the Bible also says, I call upon you, young man, because you're strong. So again, you get what I'm saying? And it's these same young men are
true.
Are stepping away from the church. The same young men that you're trying to call in, they're stepping away from the church, and they're substituting football and cricket and athletics with the church, right? They're totally giving up church, because as soon as they get all the glamour and the glory, you hardly see them at church unless they're coming to christen their child, or unless a relative passes away, then you will see them pop up at church, and that's it. Because oftentimes when they become established, then the only time you see them doing anything that pertains to God or anything is when they're making the cross across their chest before they enter the field of play, or
True.
before they run the 100-meter race.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Or so before them go up on real talk.
Exactly. So what are your views on that aspect of it? Because could it be then that these same young men that should not be given the opportunity because of pride and ego and all of that? And
no, well, that's not what I was saying in terms of, like I was talking about being a pastor or elder in the church. So, like, you know.
Yeah, but again, even with the pastors and the elders, with the elders, because pastors, they're usually more experienced and all of that. The elders, they're usually more experienced as well. And with that experience comes archaic ways. So that old-fashioned approach and that old-fashioned way of thinking is that same approach that resulted in them condemning you who went into the dance hall, right? Because the folks in your church may not have said, okay, this was wrong and this was blasphemous or whatnot, but I am pretty sure the majority was lashing out
50,
because
50,
I won't even say 50-50. Most of the pastors in Jamaica, they condemned what you did, because had they not been against it, we would have seen more pastors doing what you did.
That is true.
Right. So if they thought it was good and this was the way forward, then they would have been practicing it far more. But they were against it, and again, they're like, oh, this is just a young person trying to get some clout or trying to get some attention and that sort of thing. And it's young people like you're very young. They're stepping away because they don't have the same willpower as you, and they're stepping away to something that genuinely appreciates them in the form of sport. Because if you're a youngster and you go into the church, if I go into the church at 27, 28, and I say, okay, I've done my studies, I've gone to NCU or whatever the institution be, I've done all my studies, I know the Bible cover to cover, and I'd like to become a preacher, or I'd like to start my own church. Very few are going to come up and to back me.
And support it. That's true.
Right, but if I go out there and I train, I ensure that I master the craft of football, and I go to a team and say, okay, I need a trial. And I get a trial, and they send me on to a bigger team, and I say, okay, I need a trial, and I make the cut. If I have the qualifications, which is in this case the talent and the capability right? To perform the responsibilities required. Then whatever the team is that I go to, unless the manager doesn't like me, they're going to give me the opportunity. And I think that's the difference between sports and religion, because the structural aspect of it is solely reliant on seniority, on who knows what and who knows best. We're reading the same Bible, but yet you're going to say what I am doing is wrong, which in this case, what you are doing is wrong, because you're the one who went out into the dance hall because you thought this was a more sensible way of reaching the youth who are not coming in the church. You get the basis of my reasoning?
And I agree with you 100% on it, you know. So it really boils down to some reaching out personally to the youth them as much as you can, and hopefully that, you know, the generations of that is to come, because leaders have to be different anyway if you stand out, right? And hopefully with the eyes that are on me, and because I've met people who go to the dance. I met a youth one time and he tell me, say, watch me go to the dance and go to the selector, and it encourage him as a gospel artist to step going and dance and sing him song or get him song played, which did feel very good to me, that, you know, even if it's one person lead out. But at the end of the day, to me, if you have to be strong, as I say, you have to be strong, because if you're not strong, more buckle up under the pressure, and then it go really look like attention we go seek, because now I can't even back it up, right? So I have to be strong as the 1 and 2 youth them out there. But I wouldn't even say me had probably one of the only one, because remember in the Bible, Elijah. I don't know if you know that scripture that where Elijah did go to God when all of the prophet them disappear or dead, and him say, me I only one. I do the work. Wow, and you still make them disrespect me. And God say, hey, me have 7,000 man out there when I bowl to bail, you know. You just get the marketing. The people them doesn't know you, but me have 7,000 man. Want me to watch. So in life, you might not be the one that because there are 8 billion people in the world, right? So not everybody go get the spotlight. But you see, if you know personally in yourself, say, yo, yeah, do the right thing, and you try to stay close to God, and him go guide him, go lead, and him go help you for one go to the next level, and get you enough time for spend time with him, and so it's, to me, that's why I deal with specifically, because I know everybody can go to a church, and everybody can go to a church setting. I don't know if these clubs have I know that in a NFL and basketball, and we have chaplains for each team and them thing there. And I don't know if them have that for like the different clubs them in all over the world. But I'm sure that a man who really want to have him little time, and we get it if he make the effort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Would you say it's hypocritical of athletes or even sports stars to go to God only when they need something? Because we as athletes, they pray before the games, but as soon as the game finishes, that's it, right?
I would say it's hypocritical.
What would you deem the term? What would you call it?
Human. I would just say it's just human, because most humans stay so, you know, them boops it, them feel like God a boops it. So only when them in a problem or them in a trial, them cry out to God or reach out to. I'm sure say you have people who you have known before in life. Them only link you when them in a problem or when them need something. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to put them in a them place, you know, in a one way. But and God will put them in a them place. So it's not right, but I just feel like it's just human, basic human, and it's only the mature ones and the one them who really loyal. You go see it in the end, that the blessings on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Recent developments, and since I was a teenager coming up, I've heard the term religion is division, right? But the more I grew,
Yes.
I grew older, I realized that sports draws people together. And it's constantly being said that sports draws us together. When the Olympics is playing, everyone is for one. When it comes to religion, if it's even denomination, I won't even go as far as saying religion, denomination, because the Seventh-day Adventists, they have a problem with the Sunday people. The Jehovah's Witness, they have a problem with the Seventh-day Adventists, and it's all over the place. And even in that same church, regardless of what the church is, you have individuals in these settings who are condemning each other then, because you're not doing the right, that person is doing the right. So the mere fact that religion is viewed as division, and sports draws people together. That big difference. Can you see the reason why people are drifting further towards sports?
Of course.
Because
Of course.
all the necessary attributes that an agent of socialization requires, sports has it. The church was one of the traditional agents of socialization. You have church, you have school, you have the family, all of those, right? And that's in some instances the church is a part of school. So you have double church then, because in most schools they teach you about religion and that sort of thing. So again, do you think that's where sports holds the upper hand, especially now in society where it is being viewed as drawing people together, and religion has the stigma of being a divisive factor?
And again, that's why I'm telling you, I'm not religious, right? But you're right. There's so much things that whole angle over religion. You know what I'm saying? So many things that unite people. Sports. Let me see. What's the number one seller in the world? Sex, I think, a number one seller in the world, and then 2 are religion, right? I think probably 3 are sports, right? But I feel like you're right. Yeah, like remember too at the end of the day, too, you know, it is unfortunate. But the church has gotten watered down in terms of, because man is now, it's all about, you know, gain, and which doesn't really make them real prophets of God anyway. And that's why at the end of the day, judgment day, everybody are gonna know who real from who fake. You know what I'm saying? And the leader go get judged stricter. Right? So it really boils down to each individual person, because I know the first place you stop not gonna necessarily be the church where you feel comfortable with, even if you grow and all right, for example, reason why I'm not judge. Let's say a man come out of prison and was a murderer or a thief, and him start go 7-day church and settle down himself and behave himself. That is where him find God. Or a man who was something else, start go Jehovah Witness church, and him settle down, marriage start for, you know, that is where is. So I look at the fruit of a person's behavior rather than, you know, where exactly is the culture of the place. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you find God and feel like that is where he is making you fit and function and flourish, that's where you should stay. But you're right, religion bring confusion, religion bring division, you know, and this start from people using their personal conviction and turn it into a denomination. You know what I'm saying?
I was just going to get to that too, because the so many different denominations, especially in Jamaica, because I don't think I've been to a number of countries across the world, and I've never seen so many different denominations anywhere in the world, to be honest, that I've been, and I've been to a few. In Jamaica, it's that one. So it's almost as if it's a tug of war.
Of course, and them scorn you if you're not from there, and you know, people feel a way about that. You know what I'm saying? People feel a way about that, and that's why people stick to them what them know, stick to them dancehall, stick to them this, because that's where them feel comfortable. So and
it's straightforward too. It's straightforward because you know what you're getting. Because if I go to a football game, I know what I'm getting at a football game. I'm going to a football game. If I go to watch athletics, I know what I'm getting at an athletics meet. The same thing with cricket. If I go to a church,
and if you go to a party too.
Exactly. It may not be, because if I go to a church, you know, it may be, say for instance, Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints. It says Church of Christ, you know, but when I go there, it's teaching me about Joseph Smith. You get what I'm saying? Whereas if I go to the Seventh-day Adventist, which again is a church, it's teaching me about somebody else, someone in the United States who
I remember what's her name? Grace. Do you remember the same lady who write the book there? Yeah.
Exactly. And if I go to the Jehovah Witness, they're giving me the Watchtower because they're telling me about somebody else. So again, it's all over the place. And this level
of, know what to expect. A real talk.
Exactly. Real talk. So again, and human beings, we are so basic. We're so basic, and we don't realize how basic we are, because some of us may think we're complicated individuals, but we're so basic where 1 + 1 should always be 2 for us. So the moment where 1 + 1 no longer becomes 2 is the moment where we lose interest, right? And that's the situation now with sports. And I think that's why it's easier for folks to gravitate towards sports rather than religion, because religion is pulling you, and church and all of that, it's pulling you in so many directions that you're at a crossroad and you feel as if you're pulling in so many directions that you're going nowhere. You get the basis on what I'm reasoning?
Brother, yeah, reason some world-class reason in the podcast, yeah, for me. I tell you the truth, yeah. Me think I come to teach, but I come to teach. You're right, man. It really go make we have to look into things and see how, we can really approach. And I really appreciate, you inviting me on a platform like this to educate you as to what is really happening out there in society, and that we mustn't take for granted the platform that we have where people consistently come and listen, because you can't take it for granted at any point. You have to be so focused, because, for example, I preach on Instagram every Sunday, and we have about 12,000 followers, or 12 something, you know what I'm saying? And I have a consistent amount that check in every Sunday when we go live. Like, it start to get more now because of the lockdown. So Sunday, when I tell you we have 200 and odd people on the live, and Sunday before that as well. And it make you realize, listen, the people that come to you because of the consistency of the message. They're coming expecting something specific. So you are teach me now, when we go to sports, this is what is expected. Either we go win or we go lose. Either we go happy or we go sad.
But you can't go to a football game and then cricket comes out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. Say, all right, your best. This is what you expect from your best ball or whatever. You might get disappointed, but essentially, say you're going to watch 90 minutes of a football game and how the coaches and everything come together. You know what you're going to expect. So you saying this to me, let me know, say, boy, I have to just keep focused. Stay up on the ground, keep trying to keep sticking close to God, because you don't want it to ever be that you start confuse the people and you start do what you want. You start teaching people them about Steve Blake or John Tam or Mr. Bridlington. You want to be consistent in what you're bringing right across the board, and its consistency is key to what will bring success in life.
True. So true. Again, folks, we won't keep you too much longer. We're aiming for an hour. We're already at an hour and 12 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can keep it maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Hit the like button, folks, as soon as you hop on. If you're new to Halftime TV, subscribe to the channel as well. Where tonight's episode is really just ball talk. We're doing sports and religion. At what point does sports become a substitute for religion, or is sports even a substitute for religion? I say yay, Pastor says nay. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. let me know what you guys think in the comment section, guys.
It's a very brilliant discussion still.
As always, we don't want it to be always about entertainment. We want it to be educational as well. And if you can learn something tonight, we're happy we could have enlightened your darkness, and you could take something away from this reasoning to take back to a friend or to even to a relative. That's the purpose of Halftime TV. All right, so you see me come on here, I talk about football, I talk about Chelsea, I talk about all the big games, but there becomes a time where we need to narrow it down and to see if we can get some sense out of what's really happening, because the noise of the market sometimes is difficult for you to hear sense, right? Because when it's too loud, you can't hear anything, right?
And also the emotion behind it, because, all right, not to divert, but just to talk about Arsenal and Man City game Saturday, right? Before my answer, somebody asked a question on the YouTube if it's fear for pray for win. But before I answer that question, right? Naturally as a Chelsea fan, you just want Arsenal get 5 every week, you know what I'm saying? So once them start losing, us glad, and till it's not funny anymore. Like, and each big team at some point them have a slump, right? Arsenal has been fighting the slump for years, not to really and truly go down there. But we have had it 2015 when Jose get fired. Liverpool did have it for about 30 years. Man U had it when Sir Alex Ferguson leaves. So I believe Arsenal now can't hold up the boat no more. And it just and emotions, you'd be like, every time City score, you just say a good phone for dead boy, Ray. But when I take out emotion out of the game, just like what you say when you take out the noise, Arsenal has it's almost like that game was a match fixed. It's like they didn't have any effort. The back three just I couldn't believe. Not even primary school is like I'm gonna play FIFA and the man who defend don't know what to do. Right? The defender them stand up every time City attack or pass the ball. It's like them stand up and I say, what for do? And I'm like, the coach not go and go down to Arsenal. Me would definitely would want to go down to Arsenal with that the back line that me see. Right? That was a horrible display. No, it's like they were clueless. Right? And it's like me start to reason with my Arsenal bridging them and I say, but it's like there was no effort at all against Man City. Even from the first goal, the man swing the ball to the right side, I feel, and him just turn like nobody never ever did it. The man, a little shot man, hit the ball under the center half. And I say, yo, I don't think this is a coach problem. This is just the players, them not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So you really boil back down to the point where you say, taking the noise out of the market and really looking into things and seeing things for what they are. You know what I'm saying? Because as humans, we tend to get emotional when something right in front of you and a show we say something not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Folks, in the comment section, I'm going to give you the opportunity now to ask your questions. The thesis of tonight's reasoning, then put it that way, because we have the premise, we have the topic that we built on, the topic sports and religion. And then we had faith only has strength until something more promising comes along. What are your thoughts on that? So faith only has strength until something more promising comes along. Let us know your take on that, guys. In college, you can see where sports is becoming a religion in and of itself. So that's Richard Trench saying he studied sports management in college.
I believe him. It's true. It's like I don't know if I think it was worse one time. I don't think it has bad now. I don't know if it probably I get back worse again because I look for England when them lose the game against Italy and their behavior before was completely opposite from when them lose. Them start beat man, mash up man. You know what I'm saying? So I think. Is that the world really have a problem? The world really have a problem. The world needs some love.
Yeah.
I also believe that sports has become also so much of it has always been, but more recent than now. Because I feel like sports they die down, the passion they die down for a minute. Right? I feel like sports was more passionate back in idea. I don't know if it's me personally, or I don't know if it's just how it is, but Raheem Sterling, for example, me think him should have take a penalty in another final day. And as the final whistle blow, brother, I see the man pull out in shin guard them like him and say, "Oh, me not take no penalty today because I know if I miss them will kill me and crucify me." So you're right, sports has become more than sports now. You know what I'm saying?
And again, it shapes the lives of so many people, right? Because it's not only
control emotions,
right? And I have a question to ask you too before we even end the reasoning. What are your thoughts on people regarding Lionel Messi as God? Because they don't even leave it as a god of football, you know. Because I think I don't know how you interpret people regarding individuals as gods, but what do you think of folks, especially fans of Barcelona? Because the Barcelona loyals, let me give you a bit of information, right? Lionel Messi's debut over the weekend was the most watched La Liga Ligue 1 game in the history of Ligue 1, right? There were 6.3 million viewers on the day for Leo Messi's debut, right? And this is in Spain. Right, we haven't even gotten to France as yet, right? So that's how big of a following Lionel Messi draws. So when folks regard him as God and even go as far as to tattoo him completely across their bodies and asking for signatures, and then they tattoo that signature as well. Isn't that idolatry?
Yes, it's a form of idolatry, yes. It's a form of idolatry. But you know, as human beings, we always want to put something or someone and give that God like. Because you know, physically we can't see God from day one. And it's from Bible days. You know, people always want something to worship. You know, and God always try to make it be like, hey, I am the one to worship, and me put that desire in you for want for worship something. You know what I'm saying? But you know, people go worship what them see or what them see is good. You know, people like winners. You know, and as we tell you, nothing is wrong with worship, but when you put it to a level now where you start to, you know, take it to a difficult. If me say, yo, good show, that is a form of worship to you, you know, like me and say, yo, good show, you know, you really thought out this thing and it was a good discussion. But when you take it to a level where you start, put it above, you know, doing the right thing and above family and above your you know, putting God first. So for example, God said to you, say, boy, help the lady that cross the street, and you say, no, me have to go catch the match. You know what I'm saying? Or for example, let's say in a barber and God said to you, say, make that woman that cut her hair before you, man. And you say, no, me have to go run, go watch that. That is like idolatry, you know what I'm saying? So it exists.
So what if you're just selfish? Because you have to differentiate with it, you know, because you have individuals who are genuinely just selfish. So even if you say, okay, let the lady cut her hair, for example, as you alluded to, and they say, okay, no, I'm not allowing you to cut your hair because I need to cut my hair because I have things to do. And
yeah,
coincidentally, that thing happens to be them going home to watch a match.
yeah.
So I think it's a thin line there, and we can.
In other case, there, you know, me I say, if you get a conviction, remember one of the first things I'm saying to you is for you who do something and you doubt, that is what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So if, for example, you feel something inside, say, do this, and you don't do it even though you feel it inside, that's how you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it all boils down to what you feel inside.
But isn't that your conscience, though?
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right, fair enough. Conscience. So disobeying your conscience, I would say that is where would I feel like. But it's just natural for the human to celebrate winners and for call him. I mean, remember at the end of the day, still God say all we are like gods with common GODs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some people go be blessed with super talent and whatever, and some people work hard. Like me feel like Messi talented is the most talented footballer ever, but me feel like Ronaldo is one of the hardest working footballer ever. Kanti and them kind of guys where them never have that level of skill what them have. No, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of is a tricky situation, but you're right. Technically, still it is idolatry.
All right, there are two comments on here that I need to clarify. I think once Messi doesn't proclaim himself as God, it's all upon his fans. Well, Haile Selassie didn't proclaim himself as God either, and Rastafarians they created an entire movement following Haile Selassie. All right, so again, these individuals who tend to do exceptional things or extraordinary things, they're seldom coming forward and saying, "Hey, I'm God. You need to worship me." It's the followers who are transcendent in whatever this person does, and whatever they do take them to another point, to another realm, that they feel as if that person being able to take them to this level, to make them experience this particular feeling, that person must be a God. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I think they worship them as gods. All right. I think that when people proclaim Messi as a God, they're trying to say that he brings them to such incredible joy and entertainment. And again, whether it is entertainment, whether it is whatever it is, when it comes to entertainment, it's still spirituality, because entertainment isn't something that you can touch. You can't touch it. So it's a spiritual being that is going into that different vibe.
Soul. Affect your soul.
Exactly. So again, it basically.
I mean, remember, you know, we all have to remember, you know, entertainment is a powerful thing. Remember, say Lucifer, you know. Bible says Lucifer was in charge of entertainment in the heavenly realm, you know, before him get cast on as Satan. So
we're gonna get to that point and no. All right, finish your point.
So him know how to occupy your mind, him know how to occupy your emotion, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be, you just have to just be strong for put God above all of that, you know what I'm saying?
So as a believer that Lucifer was responsible for entertainment and sports ideally is entertainment.
It is.
Then you could simply say then Lucifer has pulled so many youngsters away from the church through sports.
Of course.
Through sports. But you also said you can't criticize someone who decides to venture into sports because of their financial means or their background situation. So again, is Lucifer or is Lucifer not taking these individuals away from the church?
I feel like God are the original maker of everything and Lucifer the counterfeit. You know what I'm saying? Well, no Lucifer, I'm a Satan now.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Because when one is used as a substitute for the other, because remember, you know, we're talking about sports being a religion, and if sports is being deemed a religion and pulling away folks away from God, then because remember, you know, these individuals who become professional athletes, they don't have time for church anymore. They don't have time for God for the most part. As I said, 9 out of 10 times, the only time you see them even praying, and they don't even know that this is a prayer when they make the cross across here. They don't know that in and of itself is a prayer, right? They don't know. They're just doing it because they see most people doing it. Like the Catholics, they practice it more than any other religion. They do the cross.
Reverence.
Exactly. And sanctification. So again, folks deciding, okay, I am going to be fully engulfed in my profession as an entertainer, whether it be as a sprinter, as a football player, as a tennis player. I don't have time for church. I don't have time for what's happening over here. And basically, I don't have time to spend with God, then, quote unquote. Wouldn't you say then that is the devil pulling them away from the church? And as a result, it is being, because we use cult, we use all these terms throughout the tenure of our reasoning here. We use cult, we use transcendence, we use spirituality, we use all of that, the emotional involvement that individuals have in sports, right? So again, is it that then the devil then, or Satan as you call it, is responsible for sports, that it has this superior pull? Because you say we're generally more interested in things that aren't good for us then. So could it be then that's the reason why we're so drawn towards sports, because it has that subconscious pull on us that we don't even realize?
All right, what I would answer that is that I feel like everything that was made for our enjoyment, you know? And I believe that once the Bible says everything can be done, but do it in moderation, you know what I'm saying? And there's a reason for everything. So when you can do something in moderation, it makes it godly. But when you overdo it and start to control the emotion and start to affect, you know, it becomes your source of happiness, your source of income. That is where it can get corrupt, and that is where I believe that Satan take over, you know, something. So something genuinely that start off good can become corrupted, you know, if you don't focus and maintain that godliness in it. So originally and initially, sports supposed to be, you know, something happy for family and friends and whatever, but we hear people sell them soul, people do all kind of things for fame, for fortune, you know, cut short and all kind of things. It get corrupt after a while. So it can, as what you say, it probably start off good, but it can develop into that. So that's where I would say.
All right, fair enough. We're going to lighten the mood a bit, because there have been some pressing questions. There have been some intriguing stuff throughout the past hour and a half. I'm gonna leave you be very, very soon. But before we go any further. The reggaeboyz, they play against Mexico in a matter of days. What do you think of the reggaeboyz squad that was announced? Or you don't see it as yet?
I see the 35-man squad, but I've heard that it's for 2 sets where one set of people can go Mexico and Costa Rica, like the youth them from Europe, England, say if them go them for quarantine and the clubs them don't want that. So them pick 2 set of man. So the question is, do I think that this team has the quality to beat these guys home and away to make the World Cup? I don't think so. I tell you the living truth. I don't think so. I don't think that. I do think we have the quality in terms of talent, but I don't know if we can get about 12 or 13 points. Is this the only round, or we have a next round after this?
I think this is the final round. Yeah, it's an octagon. So
right.
we need to finish 3
we have beat Mexico. America wicked right now. America B team or C team or Z team win Gold Cup one day. Right? Because Pulisic, McKennie, the boy was on a Norwich, and none of them boys not played the Gold Cup, which I honestly thought that we had a good chance of winning. Right? But Leon Bill did injure, and unfortunate circumstances, the goalkeeper make a mistake at the end and it cost. But honestly, me not see this team worse Antonio and them boy that can play Mexico and Costa Rica. I mean, they probably have the same case, like Mexico and Costa Rica, they might have players of Europe too, we can't go down there. But I'm sure them have quality enough with the Azteca crowd, they've crowd that go did it. It go be too hard to me, see. We have beat America, Costa Rica, Mexico.
For this round, it's Panama, Costa Rica, and Mexico. So these are the first 3 games that we'll play in this international break. So of those 3 games, how many points do you think we can get?
Maybe we get a point against Panama.
At the National Stadium? Because remember, all the English players will be available at the National Stadium.
Yeah, I think maybe we get a point at Panama. We don't know if we have time. Maybe we get a point at Costa Rica, but we don't see nothing come out of Mexico game.
Okay, so 2 points. So 2 points out of the 3 games.
Positive 2 points. I feel like it will be a positive start to get 2 points. If we can get up 3 points down at the stadium, fine. But me think best case scenario 3 points. Medium 2 and 1. I don't think we're gonna lose the 3 game then.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right. Final point. What's your score prediction for Jamaica against Mexico in the Azteca? Just need a score prediction.
3-0 Mexico.
3-0 Mexico. Yeah. 3-0 in favor of Mexico.
Yeah.
All right. There you have it, folks. Pastor Stephen Blake.
They know about a premium over there. We doesn't talk reality.
Okay.
What's your prediction?
Me? I'm going to release a preview tomorrow, a full preview. So you can tune in for that one.
Subscribe. So yeah.
Yeah, man. You'll get the notification. All right. So again, folks, thanks for tuning in for the last 1 hour and 35 minutes. I'll probably split this video into clips. So if you want to watch it back, you can watch different segments. But again, I appreciate all the love and the support. Pastor Stephen Blake, tell the viewers where they can find you on your social media platform. I know a lot of them are in lockdown as well, and they're more than happy. They'll be more than happy to partake in your sessions on Sundays.
It's at Pastor Steve Blake on Instagram. I'll just type it in the comment section.
Yeah, please type it in there so I can pin it on the page here. So at Pastor Stephen Blake on Instagram, folks, you can follow him. Very, very informative discussion we had with Pastor Stephen Blake. Fascinating stuff. I know you haven't heard anything like this in a while. Since Religious Hard Talk, we decided to do Religious Ball Talk. And I'm sure you learned something tonight that you can take away to speak with your friends. All right. Remember, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so as yet, hit the like button as well. We have a ton load of videos coming your way. We'll be doing the preview for the reggaeboyz Mexico game. That one should be releasing tomorrow. So look out for that one as well. Naranda Brown here, HalftimeTv. If you have any questions, folks, let me see who I can give the shout out. Strasbourg Steve. Thanks for sticking with us throughout the entirety of the discussion. Shapiro Samuels, thanks for being here. Richard Trench, we appreciate you as well. As I said, Richard Trench, former national player, youth player. Samar Lawrence, former goalkeeper of Rosses as well. Again, Steph Curry, Phil Jones. We have everyone here in the comment section. Chemo Unknown can cook. Yeah, big up everybody. Big up everybody. As always, over here at Halftime TV, we appreciate you. The link to my sponsors in the description. RS Sportswear, Quick Link Shipping, and CSA Shop. And remember to watch the ads, folks. If you're rewatching this video, watch the ads. It's an easy way to support the channel. All right. I stuck with you guys the whole video because it's an awesome topic, and I love listening to you to speak about it. The pleasure is ours. Strasbourg, you can hit me up on Instagram at J_analyst21. You said you wanted me on your channel. I'll be more than happy to. If I'm available, just shoot me a message, shoot me the name of your channel as well. I try to support everyone as well. As long as it's motivational, it's informative. I don't like negative energy. I don't like negativity. So we can definitely have a chat sometime on your channel. All right. Any last words, Pastor Stephen Blake, before we go?
Yes, I feel like Jamaica team. I'm hoping that the coach can get everything together. You know, I believe everything is on him now. I don't think him have a more talented team in recent times, and with everybody fit, I hope him can get a system that is working. You know, but if not this time, we must can make 2026 because Canada, Mexico, and America host. So
I think 2026 is a given.
we must can get now one of them three there, right?
Yeah.
It might be a bit much for 2022. I think it will take a miracle, right?
A miracle, because, whoa.
Yeah, because if we could reach the semi-final or the final of this Gold Cup, it's hard for me to see. We are get how much spot we have? 4?
3.5.
3.5 technically. It's hard for me to see America though make 2 World Cups straight. Me not see Mexico drop out, and it's hard for me to see Costa Rica, Panama, and Europe. Every team I develop. I don't know what I'm to we. Every team I get better and better. I don't know what I'm to we, but I feel to take America for we make for we get another 3 spot.
All right, there you have it, folks. It'll take a miracle for the reggaeboyz to make it to the World Cup. Tomorrow I'll share my views if I think it will take a miracle as well. But we'll start with the Mexico game where I'll be sharing my predictions. All right, again.
When is that game, by the way?
Huh?
When is the game?
I think it's the second. Okay. That's what, Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's Thursday. All right, thanks for tuning in again, folks. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy what's left of your night, and God bless you. And remember, sports has become a religion. All right? Peace out.
It is. All right, blessings.
Yeah, man.